Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be another fun little series that I'm sort of introducing to my channel. I believe Emily's makeup bag also does this type of video, and I think that's kind of where I got inspired to do it, but I've also seen a bunch of other YouTubers create this type of video, so it's definitely not my original idea. But basically I'm going to be talking about products that are very hyped up and telling you my opinion on whether I think they are worth the hype or not. So this little series is going to be called Overhyped or Worth It, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, just let me know. I do plan to do sort of another little episode probably every couple of months. But I do have about 10 products to get through, so let's just go ahead and get started. So the first products that I sort of wanted to talk about are two highlighters that are actually dupes for each other, and they have been talked about quite a lot here on YouTube. And I forgot to mention, but today's episode is going to be more OG YouTube makeup products. So a lot of products that were talked about a lot back in the day, maybe they're not talked about as much now, but I found that these products I pretty much bought because of YouTube, and a lot of my makeup products I do buy because of YouTube and off of YouTubers' recommendations. So I thought it would be interesting to talk about some more OG makeup products and whether I think they are still worth the hype or worth it at all. So these are two very natural highlighters, and one of them is pretty luxury high-end brand and the other one is a pretty cheap inexpensive brand. So the first one is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder, and this is, like I said, just a really natural highlight. This is just a little deluxe size sample, but these baked products last literally forever. And then the other one that is pretty much an exact dupe is this Essence Pure Nude highlighter, and it is in the shade 10 Be My Highlight. I believe they do have other shades in this now, but again, just gives you that really nice natural glow to your cheekbones, and it doesn't look super intense or anything. It is just like the most natural highlight. I think these are the most natural highlighters that I have in my collection, and I do really enjoy them. But for the Laura Mercier one, I definitely don't think it's worth the price because you have a way cheaper alternative right here. So I think this was very hyped up for, not for no reason, because it is a really nice drugstore inexpensive highlighter, but I think that it's nothing too special or out of the ordinary. I don't think it's like a extraordinary product or anything. So if you're looking for a really beautiful, nice, natural highlight that you can wear for every day and it really just makes your skin, it basically looks like your skin but better, I would definitely recommend picking this up over the Laura Mercier one, unless you're willing to spend the money for a more luxury high-end brand. But I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for that specific type of highlight. But I mean, I also feel like this isn't anything extraordinary, so I understand why it was hyped up so much, but I feel like these aren't anything super special to my collection, and I do prefer a more intense highlight. And I just realized I am talking about quite a few highlighters today, but another one is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors. This one specifically is in the shade Rose Quartz, but I do have about 4 of these in all different shades, of course, and they come in a ton of different shades, which is really good. You can probably find a perfect highlight shade for you, but I feel like it is a nice highlighter. It definitely is not too intense and not too subtle. It's sort of somewhere in between. I also find that you can sheer it out to be a little bit more subtle and build it up to be a little bit more intense. So I feel like this is a very versatile formula. But nowadays, I also feel like there are a lot of good drugstore highlighters. So I don't necessarily feel like this was worth the hype. I do enjoy these highlighters. They're not my favorite, so I don't think that the Becca highlighters are worth the hype, and for a full size of these, it is $38 for one highlight, so I find that that is a pretty steep price. So I would recommend just trying out some more drugstore highlighters maybe before you decide to purchase the Becca ones. I just find that these aren't anything extraordinary. The last highlighter that I'm going to be talking about today is from Ofra. This is their collaboration with Samantha March, and this is the only Ofra highlight that I have. but it is definitely very, very intense. So I understand why these were so hyped up. And this pan is sort of split into quarters. It is half a more pinky highlight and then half a more champagne icy highlight. So I do really, really enjoy this. And especially if you're looking for a very intense highlight, I would definitely recommend these. So I understand why these were hyped up, and they do sort of live up to the hype, but I also feel like these are versatile, sort of like the Becca ones, except these ones are definitely a lot more intense. So you can sheer it out and put on a little bit to get a more natural look. It's probably not going to look super natural, but you can sort of sheer it out a little bit to get not as an intense look. But you can also build it up a lot to get a super, super intense wet looking highlight. And also the thing I like about this is it's just that perfect sheen wet look. It doesn't have any glitter in it whatsoever. It's really just like a metallic highlight that has no glitter and no type of shimmer running through it. So I really, really like that about this. So I think the Ofra highlighters are definitely worth the hype. Next, I have a couple of blushes to talk about. The first one is from Nudestix, and this one specifically is in the shade Sweet Peach Peony. I also have the shade Sunkissed, which I like a lot more than this. But this is just a little sample pack I got with 3 of them in it. I believe they still sell it. I'm not too sure. But I just bought the little samples to try out before I went and spent $38 on one full-size blush. And I do enjoy these, but the thing about cream blushes, I feel like you can find so many good options at the drugstore, and especially in this sort of stick form. I don't like my cream products to be in this sort of stick form, so I prefer it to be in like a pan. So I don't prefer my cream products in this format in the first place, but I also think there are definitely better cream stick products you can find at the drugstore or even at Sephora and high-end brands that are cheaper than Nudestix. It's $38 for one blush, and I feel like you don't even get too much product in the full-size blushes, so I really don't think these are worth the hype. They're really nothing extraordinary to me, and I know a lot of people really, really love these blushes. I feel like it's more the brand that was hyped up for the blushes than it is the actual blush formula and the actual product. So I feel like you can find definitely some dupes of this at the drugstore or even just cheaper than $38. So I definitely think this one is not worth the hype. Now I have a more luxury blush to talk about. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush. This one specifically is in the shade Mood Exposure. I also have another shade in a full size, and I do have their bronzer as well. But I feel like their blushes are what is most hyped up next to their sort of finishing powders. And I haven't tried any of the Hourglass finishing powders, but I just got to try out their blushes within the past year. So I have been really, really enjoying them, and I don't want to say they're worth the hype because they are so expensive. I believe this little mini is $25. I might be wrong, but this is a pretty small pan, even though these are baked products, so they definitely take a long time to go through, and blushes in general take a long time to go through. But their full-size pans are, I believe, $38 for one blush or bronzer. Actually, I think their bronzers are more expensive, but obviously Hourglass is a luxury brand, so if you're willing to spend the money and you have the money to spend, I would really recommend checking them out. But you can also find Hourglass blushes secondhand on like Poshmark or Mercari that are brand new. That is where I bought all of mine from. I definitely didn't pay full price for any of these Hourglass blushes, so I would definitely recommend checking out websites like that or get it on sale for a better price, because I definitely think these are very, very expensive for what they are, but they are really, really beautiful. So it kind of hurts my heart to say that these are worth the hype, but they kind of are. But I don't think they are worth the price point, so I would definitely recommend picking them up during a sale, or if you can find it for cheaper on Poshmark or Mercari, I would definitely recommend them. So I realize a lot of these products are more high-end and luxury brands, but I feel like that's what tends to get hyped up a lot. But I do have a couple drugstore products to show you from NYX. So the first one is the NYX Butter Glosses. I really, really love these glosses. My favorite one, or one of my favorites, is the shade Madeline, and I think this is a beautiful drugstore formula. It's so inexpensive, not just drugstore formula, but any formula in general. And I feel like this beats a lot of high-end lip products. I feel like high-end lip products are not really worth it in general. I definitely prefer to purchase my lip products from more drugstores. So I really, really love this gloss. It's not super pigmented, but you can either sheer it out or build it up a little bit. So I like how it has that versatility. You could definitely get away with wearing these on their own or just wear it as a sheer layer over another lipstick. So I definitely really, really love these, and it's a really nice, comfortable formula. So I think these are definitely worth the hype. And then the other NYX products I have to talk about is the soft matte lip creams. These are some of my favorite more matte lip products. If you find that liquid lipsticks are super drying on your lips, I would definitely recommend checking these out. And my favorite shade is the shade Zurich, and I just really, really love these. The formula is so comfortable, and they don't really completely dry down on your lips, but they still stay on really, really well. But they're a really nice, comfortable formula, especially for a more matte lip. And with these, you can also sheer them out a little bit to get a more natural look, but you can build them out. You can build them up to be opaque as well. So I really like the versatility with this product as well, and they have a ton of different shades to choose from. So I would definitely recommend trying these out if you're looking for a really good matte lip color. And I think these are definitely worth the hype as well. And then the last product I have to talk about is an eyeshadow palette, and this is one of the newer additions to my collection. I did get it a few months ago, so I have been trying it out a lot, and this is the Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2, and it's kind of sad because right when I picked up this palette, or not right when I picked it up, but a couple months later, obviously, they came out with a different, it's the same palette, but it's basically in a different format that matches all of their other palettes, and I've been wanting to try Sigma shadows for so long. So they no longer have this palette. They switched it to a different, it's more of like a longer palette, and I think it still has the same shades in it though, but I don't know if the formula is different. So I do really, really love this palette, and obviously it's the old packaging and the old formula. So I don't know if you can, like, I don't know if it's the same as their new palette is what I'm trying to say, but I do really, really love this palette. So this was very hyped up a while back on YouTube, and YouTube is pretty much what made me buy this palette. I've been wanting to try Sigma shadows for so long, and I still want to try more of their palettes, but I do really, really love this. I love the transition shades you get in here. The shimmer and metallic shades are also really beautiful, and I really love like this beautiful matte. It's sort of like a dirty brown greenish tone. So I do really, really love this palette, and I think it is worth the hype. I definitely want to try out some other Sigma eyeshadow palettes. This one I have been really, really enjoying, so I would definitely say that it is worth the hype. And that is it for all the products that I have to talk about today. I did sort of start a list of all the products that I could potentially include in this video. I tried to split it into categories. That's why today's video was sort of like the OG YouTube products, but I do have a list of a bunch of other products I could throw into some of these videos. So let me know if you guys would like to see more of these types of videos, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I do post new videos about 3 times a week, so if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.